Now, this presentation which I have here, I'll essentially be speaking about some recent initiatives that we have taken in India to expand coverage of the informal sector in the country. Now, why the informal sector, not the rest of the country, you might ask? Well, that's because in India, around 83% of the workforce is in the informal sector. This, I believe, is the highest number of people working in the informal sector in any country in the world. Now, this informal sector, I think most of us know the characteristics of the informal sector. There's no formal employer-employee relationship. There's no enforceable contracts under which people work, and the people working in the informal sector are scattered across the length and breadth of the country. So one of the very difficult problems that we face is in identifying the people to target, and that's where financial inclusion comes in. Now, we have learned through our experience over the last 7 or 8 years that there are essentially two things if you really want to promote pensions in a big way in countries like India where the informal sector predominates, and that is to have a very strong distribution network. We need to have a very strong distribution network if we are to reach out to every person in the country, and that's because of the informal sector that I've mentioned. And the second thing is the fact that because the informal sector is so large, the sector itself gives a lot of challenges which need to be tackled. And some of these challenges which I'd like to mention right away are the fact that the level of financial literacy in the informal sector is quite low. It's very difficult to make people understand that they need to save pension, set aside some money for their old age. And it becomes especially more difficult in a country like India, where the demographic dividend that we talk about is such that we have a huge number of young people in the country. Almost 50% of the population is below the age of 35. So when you have such a large number of young people in the country, they don't like to think about pensions and retirement.